It's a beautiful morning, and as the sun shines its nurturing rays on our serene little kingdom, it seems that all is well. Critters frolic on the riverbanks, drinking in the peaceful serenity of the beauty that surrounds them, basking in the glory of nature. But as with many things, peace and serenity is but an illusion. For on their doorstep lurks a threat that has plagued the villagers for longer than anyone cares to remember. An outpost of pure evil, filled with villains that keep the villagers sleeping with one eye open, gripping their pillow tight. Welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore. That's right, ladies and gents, our beautiful lands are plagued by not one, but two pillager outposts. Now the one is a bit further away, so it doesn't really bother us that much, but our recent expansion in this direction means that the one over here is becoming a bit of a pain. While I was building the river, I had to fend off countless attacks from pillagers, and I think it's probably time that we did something about it. I mean, just look at it. Sitting there, all smug, filled to the brim with all sorts of unsavory characters. I think it's time we taught them a lesson. And what better way to teach criminals a lesson than sending them to jail? Now, as you can see, this entire area is naught but a hive of scum and villainy, and taking care of them one by one is a bit of a chore, cause every time I turn around, there's two more. So we need to come up with a bit more of a permanent solution, and the only one I can think of is to build a correctional facility where they can mend their ways, or just stay there until, we forget about them. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to level this entire area and build a prison. Oh, look at this fool. Take that, and there we go. So we've cleared out the pillagers, and now we can start working on bringing down the tower and, of course, removing their cruel cages and putting them in cages of their own. Now, as the title suggests, watching this video could end up with you getting thrown in jail, and I wasn't kidding. After all, who of us have not committed some crime while playing Minecraft? Perhaps assaulted a villager while trading, or taken something from a chest that might not have been yours to begin with. So if you feel that you deserve to go to jail for crimes against Minecraft, stick around and I'll tell you how you can become a prison inmate a little bit later. Right now, let's start by tearing this sucker down. We've been making some good progress, however, I have received numerous complaints of safety violations, and it's mostly due to these guys. Now, unfortunately, the only thing I can do is to cave into the complaints and actually go and hire myself some security guards. So let's go and see what's available. So I've been talking to a few security companies and I've decided on one, but they require some pumpkins as payment. I have no idea why, but they just said they need lots and lots of pumpkins. I unfortunately don't have any pumpkins, which means I need to make a pumpkin patch. And I'm going to do it over here in the savannah area that was previously our beautiful fishing village, which is sadly no more. But we can still put this land to good use, and today it's going to become a pumpkin patch so I can pay off my security guards. Here we go, a bucket of water in the middle, and then we will make some neat little rows on either side. Now, I'm not going to build a massive pumpkin harvesting machine because I am just way too lazy for that at the moment, and I've already got enough on my plate building the prison, so a simple little manual farm it's going to be. So all of our plant beds are down, I've planted some pumpkin seeds, and I think what I'm going to do is just help them grow a little bit. And for that, I have visited my bone farm and I have procured some of the finest bone meal available. And this should just help kickstart things. It's not going to give me any pumpkins immediately, but it'll help the vines grow big and strong. And then it can produce some pumpkins and hopefully, come on, why are these hitboxes so ridiculous? Anyway, oh, there's a pumpkin already. We're off to a good start. So we've got a bunch of pumpkins. I'm going to harvest them right now. It's probably not enough to last me in the long term, but for right now, it's going to help keep all of these silly pillagers off my back. So let's grab all of the pumpkins that have grown. Now, my security company has informed me that they like spooky pumpkins, so I'm going to carve some faces into them right here. And here we are. It's time to set up my first security guard and... let's see, I think you just make a simple T-pose, pop a pumpkin on his head, and there we go! Our security guard is in full swing. Now I just need to make a few more of these guys, and be careful to keep out of reach of the whacking distance once I do make them, because these guys are just going to be swinging away, and even with netherite armor, it really does hurt. Now, what on earth is going on here? Why are you frozen? Oh! Jeez, okay. Alright, so with all the security forces in place, I have been able to make some excellent progress. As you can see, we are clearing away the final few layers of stone over here, and then we need to fill in the big hole, take down the tower, and we're ready to build. Now we're entering the final stretch with a big hole over here. I've placed some torches underneath, and with my security forces keeping the pillagers away from me most of the time, I can finally brave standing on the edge and placing down dirt to cover this hole. Now once this is done, of course, we can get onto the final phase of the prep stage, which is going to be removing the tower. And yeah, as you can see, there's quite a steep drop at some of these places, which is why I need the iron golems to keep the pillagers away. So we're almost done here, just a few more pieces of dirt that needs to go in. And there we go, just about done. We've got a nice flat area and, okay, well, we still need to do some work over there. But it's time for us to take down the pillager tower. And as you can see, we've had a lot less troubles with the pillagers. However, every now and then there's one that just escapes the iron golems and I have to go and take care of it manually. I see we've even got some traders coming in at the moment. And that's it. The last remnant of the pillager tower is coming down. Just 2 more blocks and we're done. Which means this area is just about ready for building. So let's just take a quick look at the work we've done so far. It's it's been quite an ordeal. It's taken a lot longer than I thought. I mean, I had to carve down half the mountainside. So let's get our wings on and then let's take an aerial view of the work we've accomplished so far. As you can see, it's going to be quite a sizable prison. I don't want it to be too cramped. I don't want to be cruel about it. And, oh my goodness, this is the kind of security that I pay for. This is what I pay good money for. So I wrote a strongly worded letter to the security company telling them that I'm not paying good money for people sitting in holes. And one thing led to another, and all of my guards are now on strike. I have to fight off these guys all by myself. As you can see, though, I have been hard at work. I have been placing down some coarse dirt. I'm making a few paths before I start the building. And, yeah, there's still a bunch of holes over here. I don't think I have quite enough coarse dirt, firstly. And secondly, I'm going to need a bunch of packed mud, just to get that nice contrast between the coarse dirt and the packed mud. And I don't have any of it. So it's time for me to take a little bit of a trip, go and gather some materials, and hopefully while I'm out gathering materials, I can smooth things over with the security company and get my guards back to work. So let's go and grab ourselves a few materials. I'm going to need some mud, I'm going to need some wheat, and of course I'm going to be needing some more gravel because I still have to make a ton of concrete. I still have to make a bit more coarse dirt. I don't think I've got quite enough. So yeah, let's get out there and let's go find ourselves some gravel. It might have only been a few seconds for you, but I have been collecting materials for about 6 hours now, and worst of all is that about 2 of those hours have been spent waiting for the stupid copper to oxidize. I don't need all that much, just a few more and it should be alright, but this is getting absolutely ridiculous. I know it's slow to oxidize, but come on. Spending hours just standing here waiting for copper to oxidize is a little bit rough. So just to give you an idea, I've been harvesting pumpkins every time they fully grown over there, and I have about 6 stacks of pumpkins now. So it should tell you how long I've been standing here just waiting for this stupid copper. There it is, there it is, there it is. One of them has actually oxidized at last. Let's go and wax it before it oxidizes again, because it just seems redundant to have to deoxidize it, but we're almost there. Just a few more to go and we'll be ready to get building. We finally collected everything we need, about 10 shulker boxes worth of goodies. Still that one copper step over there that refuses to oxidize, so it's just going to sit there till it's done. And then we've got stacks and stacks of stone, cobblestone, all the other things we need in the chests over here. We're going to grab some of that. And then I think we're just about ready to start putting all of this together. I think it's going to look awesome once it's done. And when it is, you can also join the prison inmates. And how do we do that? It's very simple. Head over to the comments, and if you want to become an inmate, type guilty. If you want to be a prison guard, there's a few spots available. You can type guard if you feel you haven't committed serious crimes against Minecraft. It's all up to you whether you want to be a prison inmate or a warden. So get down in the comments and type either guilty or guard to book your spot in our correctional facility today. Offer is limited. T's and C's apply. Now, I hope we get our issues sorted out with a security company pretty soon, because that was an insane amount of pillagers. But let's cue the music and let's get building. Okay, so I might have overdone it with the security over here, but these pillagers were getting so freaking annoying. They were everywhere. They just didn't stop coming. and I wasn't getting much building done. Every 10 seconds I had to stop to fight off waves and waves of pillagers. So yeah, I think I've got enough security in there now. Let's hope they last a while, because for some reason they get stuck while fighting the pillagers and then they just get taken out. But I think we've got the situation under control right now, which means we can continue building and we can finally finish up this prison. So let's get back to it. We are finally done and the prison is looking absolutely fantastic. We start off with a little winding road coming from the dungeons where the prisoners are processed up to the drawbridge and over to the gatehouse where they will be booked into their new home. Inside the prison, we have a few bleachers where the prisoners can sit and relax while they have some free time to walk around. We also have a few stumps to serve as stools where they can do a little bit of gambling or perhaps knit a nice sweater, whatever it is that prisoners do. And last but certainly not least, we have the cell blocks, and you can book your spot right now simply with an admission of guilt by typing guilty in the comments. If you don't think you're guilty and fancy a job as a prison guard, simply type guard in the comments and we will review your application and maybe reserve a spot on one of the towers. But that, ladies and gents, is unfortunately all we have time for today. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to see some more, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye-bye.